Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
What is going on, everybody? Happy late Sunday to most of you in these here United States and around the world. We'd first of all, on behalf of the entire Jeff Meacham Network, like to thank the Muskie man himself, Elon Musk, for making it have to be a premium account to stream on Twitter now. So fuck you for that, Elon. I know we're not past 5 minutes, but I can't do anything about that at this point. So I'll fix the monetization later. But yeah, I went to go stream this on Twitter, and we can't, apparently now. So thank you for that, Elon. You freaking D-bag you. Anyway, JJ, how are you on a Sunday other than not being able to stream on Twitter now because we're not part of the cool kids? It's like
that really doesn't faze me at the end of the day. I am fine. It's been a good day. It's been a productive day. It was a beneficial day on the work front. I got laundry done. I got home in time for the review.
Yes.
Took a shower. So I'm all ready for my early shift tomorrow.
Yes.
Got to be in at the restaurant before the restaurant even opens. Whatever. But, you know.
Got to do the thing. Make the green, brother. And yes, shout out to everybody who tuned in the NoDQ review tonight. Thank you for supporting our friends at NoDQ.com and supporting the fact that my dumbass is on there. Always good to have the people along watching me make an ass of myself for an hour and a half. So thank you for that. Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. It's just I didn't know it until I hit live and it went air and I went, why? Oh, okay. So I'm not paying for Twix. If I'm going to go pay for Twix, I'm going to go to the convenience store, buy myself a candy bar, motherfucker. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But today, almost like we kind of came up with the topic and then my opportunity tomorrow just kind of fell into my lap. So in honor of my hopeful good interview tomorrow, we are here to discuss the top 10 TV series that were featured and actually originated. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, your graphics is top 10 TV series. We're doing any Disney show? I was under the impression it was Disney Channel original TV shows.
Yes. Well, the font I use trying to say original TV shows, it really looked this big. It really looked like I was using Alice in Wonderland's Drink Me thing, and we would have shrunk down to that size. So, top 10 TV series that originated on the Disney Channel would be the proper labeling for this show. So, as much as we would love to feature shows that were on the Disney afternoon when we were youngins, while a couple of them did have pilot episodes go out on the Disney Channel, at the end of the day, they were made specifically for the Disney afternoon on ABC or in syndication, so we're not going to count those.
We're also not counting like the original Mickey Mouse Club.
No.
Or The Wonderful World of Disney.
Right.
Things along that nature.
No. It's basically anything that originated on the Disney Channel when it premiered in 1983, which makes me feel...
Until now.
Yeah, it makes me feel as old as the channel because I am as old as the channel. 41 years and counting, but the little cable channel that could, when the company was admittedly not doing all that well on television.
Yeah.
So they figured, okay, we'll try our own thing, and it's worked because as much as people don't watch cable anymore, everybody's streaming. These shows have stood the test of time, and for the most part, are available on Disney Plus to stream, and you can watch them and and relive your childhood, if you will. Matter of fact,
although there are quite a few that aren't on Disney Plus still.
No, as a matter of fact, if I look over the list, I think only, let's see, definitely those two. And that one, yeah, probably. So
I know most of the newer ones are on there for sure.
Yes. So three of them
the more old ones that not so much.
Yeah, 3 of them officially aren't on there that I know of, and one of them is a tie at number 10, and we'll talk about that in a second. I'm pretty sure one of them is available elsewhere besides Disney Plus, but I think it's because it's part of a package of something else, and we'll get to that when we get there. Pretty sure it's on that outlet, if I remember right. I'll have to go back and look later. Anyway, at number 10, I will let the Renegade take this one over because this shit literally debuted when the channel started, and I was about this big, so I have no idea.
Yeah. So coming in at number 10 is a tie.
Yes, had to.
And it's a tie because they kind of go hand in hand for me. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Like literally, when I was a kid, waking up, getting dressed, eating breakfast before school, one would play followed by the other, and it's Welcome to Pooh Corner and Dumbo Circus.
Now,
they took the properties that they had and they basically Barney'd them.
Yep.
It was human beings in costumes. The costumes were what they were. 83.
Yeah.
I can really tell they did not have Jim Henson's Creature Shop helping them as they would with one we'll come up to a little bit later on. But like I said, the costumes were very primitive, and you could tell they were primitive. But again, we're talking 1983 for Welcome to Pooh Corner, 85 for Dumbo Circus.
Yes.
The first 2 years of their inception.
Right.
At a time, like you said, when they were kind of struggling on TV, as well as in the box office.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Box office was not good to them in the 70s and the early to late 80s. From the Jungle Book until The Little Mermaid, the box office was not good to Disney.
No, the company was
they
not.
were trying to open another theme park in that time.
Oh my God, yes. It was crazy.
So they just did not have the funds to be putting into the costumes for this.
No. Yeah. Figure.
But even still, like as a kid who was 7 years old when Pooh Corner debuted, like I still ate it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like kids that would watch Barney or Sesame Street, although Sesame Street had the Henson behind them. I will say this. You mentioned the parks. Yeah, remember, folks, for company purposes, Epcot launched the year before the channel did. Tokyo Disney opened at the same year, 83. So talk about stretching yourselves thin. Let's just do all the things all at once. It was crazy. What I find funny is the costuming was so primitive in 83 and 85, yet if you look at pictures of the characters, even before Walt passed, there's that famous picture of him and Mickey on the on one of the Main Street vehicles. Mickey's not looking near as primitive as he did in 55.
No.
So whatever costuming they were using for the TV the channels, it certainly wasn't the parks costuming. My God. A little scary. A little scary. Very 55 Disneyland scary, although not actually, take that back. Nowhere near as scary because it was still for the kids. But definitely not up to the let's have everything look the same across all brands edict that was put out in the early part of the 90s. Because, wow. But yeah, I've gone back and been able to watch both of these shows off and on thanks to certain people's video libraries and other means. So I find them cute. You know, like I said, if you're a Disney fan, you're going to like these things. If you're a fan of Winnie the Pooh, you're going to like Pooh Corner. If you're a fan of that type of show, you're going to dig it. But it is not everybody's cup of tea. But I felt that they should be here at least at number 10 because they were essentially the first real attempt by Disney to have that sort of branding and show on their own channel.
Yeah, and just so y'all see what we're talking about here.
Yeah, again, you can definitely see they look a lot like the costumes look like in the parks, but there's just enough of a difference, especially in the eyes, that you go, yeah, I don't want to take my kid to see that in the parks. It's a little much. You got pooper like that over in Pooh Corner, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna go ride the Haunted Mansion. That's less scary. Thanks. I'm good. Although not now, because the line's gonna be crazy next month when that shit opens.
Right.
Brand new queue, brand new store. We're all going to die in that line, especially in that heat. Now, number nine is one of those that, while it didn't, there you go. Big G's, I think my age, maybe a little bit younger. So there you go. Number 9 is one of those that definitely started in when our kids were growing up and watching the Disney Channel and their subsidiaries, but it's a sitcom and it drew both of us in. We watched it at the apartment. It was fun to watch. It was a cute little show. And you know, when you have the quote unquote star character, even though she didn't say a heck of a whole lot because of her age and her bracket or whatever, Good Luck Charlie just hit enough of the right buttons where it was like, this is cute shit. This is a fun little show. And for everybody watching at home, Charlie is the little baby girl in the middle of the picture. She's the baby of the family, basically being wished good luck being around all these crazy people.
Yeah.
What it was, man.
Charlie became very meme worthy.
Yes, she did. God bless her. See, Andy, how are you? Yeah, it's there's that ever-present picture of Charlie just with the whoop face on because all of those going on around her, but in the social media world, that applies to all of us.
Right.
Hell, what happened yesterday in Pennsylvania? I need Charlie. Like, what happened? People be getting shot at on television. It's crazy. But I loved the simplicity of Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah,
it was just
cute.
It was just a sitcom created by Disney to hit that 30 minutes of family feels. It just was what it was, and it hit the button it was supposed to hit for us every whatever. I think it was every Friday night or whatever it was. It may have been Sunday. I don't remember because it was that spread. We never got to watch it in real time because Lord knows we didn't have that kind of scheduling availability when we were living together. Good Lord. Like, let's all coordinate and do anything. No. We were the Good Luck Charlie family. Good luck.
You silly person thinking we can coordinate.
Yeah, no. That's why the old Casa channels kind of got going the way they did, because it was just kind of like, here, we got 10 minutes, let's do some shit. Sit down and turn the camera on. That's what it was.
Pretty much.
But yeah, Good Luck Charlie, I feel like it would have worked even on the big four: ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS. I think it would have worked on obviously ABC because Disney owns ABC, but it definitely would have fit right into that TGIF lineup if something had to drop off.
That's fair.
I think it was.
I could see it in that TGIF.
I think it was that good. I really do. And on the point of TGIF,
oh Lord, here we go.
We had a sequel.
Jeff
show.
With his flashback nostalgia.
I had a good transition. I'm running with it, damn it. So if we were able to use shows that were created by Disney, period, or ran on Disney Channel or whatever, I would have put Boy Meets World at the top of the list because I love me some Boy Meets World.
And I would have fought you because it definitely didn't deserve to be anywhere near the top of the list. But
maybe not the top of this list because we came up with some pretty damn good stuff here. But Boy Meets World is one of my favorite things on television ever in the history of ever. So there is that. However, there was such nostalgia for Boy Meets World for all these years that the Disney Channel finally realized, hey, there's still some meat left on this bone. Let's see what we can do with it. And they decided to launch Girl Meets World, our number 8. Now, JJ, I did disagree on this as far as the placement, but it was not hard to see his logic and where the things above it ended up. So I was like, okay, fine. But you take a look at this image right here alone. First of all, you've got Corey and Topanga back, which is essential for a Boy Meets World sequel. If you don't have that relationship, then you might as well just say, we're going to go another way. You have their children, which, you had to know when that series ended and they moved to New York that they were going to eventually settle into a life and get married and and they had been married and they were going to have children. It's going to be a thing. And then you have the same basic storytelling element of Boy Meets World. You have the main character who is led down into shenanigans by the rebellious best friend with the parents.
Most successful person from the show, by the way.
Oh, no doubt. I was going to get to Sabrina in a minute because, man, she is having a hell of a year. God bless her. Had the rebellious friend, the nerdy classmates, the hunky or the more attractive prospective significant other to the main character. It's Boy Meets World in reverse gender. That's really what Girl Meets World was, which is why when I was told, let's bring it out, but it makes sense because it is very much a retread of Boy Meets World. I just like it because I love Boy Meets World so much. But yes, as much as the vehicle it was supposed to be for the main character, Corey and Topanga's daughter, Riley, Maya, portrayed by Sabrina Carpenter, a lot like Sean on Boy Meets World, played by Ryder Strong, just kind of broke out and gathered her own following. And now, God, Sabrina's got the top 2 or 3 songs in the world right now. Sabrina Carpenter. God bless her, man. I can't go anywhere without hearing Espresso. Like, it's absurd. And I will tell you this. Whoever was at the El Capitan and the soda fountain Thursday night with that loudspeaker outside that forgot to take the song off loop and it played 10 times through, I like the song, but I will find you. Because I just wanted to enjoy my brownie and my Coca-Cola. And even my son with his headphones on doing his music thing, he's like, how long is this song? It's like, it's not this long. It's on loop. He goes, dear God, man. I'm like, yeah, it's a great song, but holy crap. But
that gives me flashbacks to the show that I worked at the convention center with AA and Party in the USA was pretty much on a continual loop. Not the whole song.
No, of course not.
Just the chorus.
Yep.
And it wasn't so continual. There was like other stuff that would come in between it, but when you've got a video on loop, you're hearing that song every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, just the chorus.
Yeah.
Me and AA were ready to go and put Miley out of her misery back then.
Yeah, no.
Because we were over it. Now, love the song.
Oh, it's a great song.
Got away from it. Love the song.
Yep. Yeah.
Then
it is. Yeah, it's a great addition to a 4th of July playlist now.
Yeah.
But back then when you were doing guard duty with AA and that many courses, yeah, no, that's what's great at terrorists, ladies and gentlemen, playing shit like that on loop. Anyway, but yeah, Sabrina Carpenter definitely ended up being the breakout star of Girl Meets World, and I'm not surprised. I mean, she's a cute, bubbly little blonde. Like it's gonna happen. And I thought if they maybe done a few things different, if they tweaked a few plots instead of just rehashing and resolving every damn open thread on Boy Meets World, may have had more legs to it. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it could have gone longer had they expanded on Riley and Maya rather than just focusing on let's tie up every loose end we had you poor bastards wait for 20 years for. But what do I know? I'm just a fan.
If you notice, most Disney Channel series don't go more than about 3 seasons, maybe 4. They keep it streamlined, kind of like Netflix.
I was gonna say it seems to be the way of the world now. Like most of these stream exclusive first run shows go 3 seasons max. So I think the exception in the Paramount universe is going to be Strange New Worlds for Star Trek. Discovery went 5 seasons, but it was awful, I thought. So Strange New Worlds with the backstory on the pre-Kirk years may go longer than 3, but yeah, I get the world is not as attention span heavy as we were in our youth. I'm not saying us 90s kids definitely had a better attention span because look at the way the WWF turned into. So, hi, Jerry. Good to see you. Yeah, kind of an impromptu. We were supposed to be on Friday, but poo-poo hit the fan. So,
his end, not mine.
Yeah, no, my end totally. Big G made a point on there on Smallville during the review, and I came back with, Gotham went a hard 4 into 5, and they were like done. They were like, okay, we're good. Smallville went 10 somehow. It's like, wasn't it supposed to be before he became an adult and what became Superman? That should be 4 years, 5 years tops. Damn show went 10 seasons, I think. Like, holy crap. Anyway, so yeah, Girl Meets World is on the list for me at number 8, for us at number 8, and I fought for its inclusion, so that's why it's there. Number 7, however, I unfortunately did not get to see in first run because I was very much not in that mode when it was in first run, but it is a damn cute show. It is a damn cute show, and it is one of the many creations that came out of your favorite Creature Factory and mine, so take it away.
Coming in at number 7 is the work of the Jim Henson Creature Shop and Jim Henson Productions, Bear in the Big Blue House.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And much like Jeff, I didn't really watch this in first run either because I wasn't really in that mode. I do remember catching an episode or 2 during a kickback that a bunch of me and my friends had during college. It was just one of those things. We all had like a hotel room together, and it was just kind of like pass out when you pass out type of thing.
Right. Been there.
And some of us were up still at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it would normally come on.
Right.
And we, being sleep deprived, were just sitting there and giddy. It was almost like being stoned watching it, but you know me, I don't do drugs. I don't get stoned.
This would be a perfect story if you were drunk or stoned, but it's neither.
But yeah, like we're just sitting there and giggling, and of course I remember taking to it on a different level than everybody else. Everyone else is like clowning it. To me, Bear reminded me of something you would see in the Country Bear Jamboree.
Sure.
And we all know how much I love that attraction.
Yes.
And then to find out it was Henson.
Yep.
That just added to it.
Yes.
Then you add in some of the people that do characters there. Peter Lenz, who ended up becoming Walter, is on the show. And so when I did become a parent, I went out looking for the DVDs because I wanted to have those to be able to show my kid. And she loved them. You know, it's very much a Mr. Rogers-esque type of feel to it.
Yes, I agree.
But with puppets.
Yeah.
You know, Bear, Mr. Rogers, welcomes you into his home. You get to meet the friends that inhabit his land, just like Mr. Rogers would have the mailman come over,
Yes.
or you take the trolley to the little puppet land. You know, it very much had a similar vibe for me.
Yes, I agree. I'll agree with that.
It was just adorable, and I love it. And when I realized that it qualified for this, it was like, this needs to get on the list.
Definitely. Having been able to watch it back, it definitely screams inclusion on this list. It was so good. So for playing the role of Josh Mansfield today will be Big G, because he was 9 in 1997 watching this show in German. So, you know, there you go. Thank you for that, Big G. And shout out to, you mentioned the Country Bear Jamboree this Wednesday, while we in California celebrate the anniversary of Disneyland's opening. The new version of Country Bear Jamboree will open at Magic Kingdom.
Officially, yes. It's already had cast previews. It's had AP previews. Natalie has seen the video of the new show, and she is not a happy girl.
So I will say this, and this is me completely being a corporate shill and a lemming. For those of you that videotape it during the cast preview, you broke the rules, dumbass. Hope you get caught.
Anyway. We don't know if it was done during the cast preview or the AP previews. So
I know.
Let's not throw anybody under the bus just yet.
That's why I said if you did during the cast. That's why I said if. I had the word if. If you did during the cast preview, that's a bad cast member. No cast member. Bad. AP, do that. You're gonna pay that kind of money for a pass. Do what the hell you want to do. I don't care. It's like they charge y'all a lot for that. So good on you. But yeah, I will definitely. I actually looked up the date. I did see the 4K POV, so I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna give it an opportunity. But knowing that she dislikes it definitely gives me pause. But we shall see. All right.
But yeah, like she is very much not a happy person about it, and especially what they've done to her boy.
Oh yeah, that I knew would be a problem. I knew that would be a thing. And it's, again, I'm not always against the company's need to change for change's sake. In this case, I very much am. Like, that was the last bastion of hope I had to be able to, if I get back with the company, if I'm able to afford it, get you back to Florida so you can see your Bears one more time. And now I don't have that. So it's like, sucks. Thank God for YouTube and people that were able to convert their camcorder footage, because that's how old a Country Bear is.
Yes.
wasn't no high-tech digital shit back then. All right. From Bear in the Big Blue House, we move through our imagination to number 6. That was really bad, but it's dad jokes, so I'll take it.
It's a dad joke on dads.
Yeah, that's exactly. Very much our kids' generation, but I think we got a kick more of a kick out of it than either of the kids did, if I'm being honest.
No. Maybe more than yours.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I know for a fact my daughter loved this show. As a matter of fact, her and her mom once upon a time went to the book thing that UCLA does every year, the Festival of Books.
That's true. They did.
And they actually got to see these guys.
That's very true.
Perform live there.
You know, having you say that, I take that back. Dylan and I did go see them in concert with Genevieve. Choo Choo Soul.
Oh, Choo Choo Soul?
Yeah, Choo Choo Soul. It was Choo Choo Soul and then the Imagination Movers together as a concert. So yeah, the Imagination Movers, man, they were enough of a combination of education for the kids and the humor that we would get that it popped me. It did. I absolutely love these guys. I love this show. It was so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch with the kids. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said,
it
both
very much had Monkees vibes.
Yes. That's
a band,
exactly
granted the Monkees were fictional, but a band living together, getting into crazy shenanigans, and you'd get a song every show.
Yep.
It very much had vibes of the original Monkees TV series.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Again, having been able to watch the Monkees thanks to you, I can make the parallels. Yeah, and it's one of those. These guys, a lot of these shows are very much like in a time capsule. Like they were in their moment in history.
Mm-hmm.
And now they don't get talked about at all, like ever.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame because these four guys and their crew just had it. We talk all the time in wrestling that a person can have one facet, two facets, but if they don't have it, they're never going to be anything special. These guys had the it. They had the charisma. They had the ability to get across all audiences and just draw people in. And that's why their concerts were so fun. That's why their outings at these book events were so much fun because they appealed to everybody.
Still rocking.
And they're still rocking it now. Exactly. They just don't get talked about near as much because it's just one of those they were the fad and then they weren't, and it's a shame because they're so talented and they're funny as hell. These guys, having a chance to meet them after the concert it's like they really are the big goobers. They're funny as hell, these guys. So
absolutely,
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'm jealous. I actually still haven't been able to see them, but I want to still so bad.
Yeah,
because I know it'll take me back in time.
Exactly.
You know, it would be like when I went to that concert pre-pandemic and I got to see MC Hammer, Coolio, Hit and Play. It took me back to that time.
Yep. It's scary. You say pre-pandemic and that was already 4 years ago. Time has just flown by.
Yeah, I want to say it was 2019 that I went to that show.
So yeah, figure. We always talk about 5 years of AEW's existence. So it's like, man, 5 years? Where the hell did those 5 years go?
Yeah.
Stuck inside for half of it. So, number 5, speaking of 5, is a show, a pair of shows, but it's a franchise. That's why we put them together. I think if they'd have come along together at any other time than when they did, they probably wouldn't make the list, if I'm being 100% real. And I say that because I think we were watching it more, at least I was watching them more because in the moment, the kids seemed into it, especially the first one.
When I will agree that the original outing of the show, even I got into that more.
Yeah, I did too.
Once it moved to the spin-off show, the sequel show.
Yes.
Of course, we're talking about the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and then the Sweet Life on Deck.
Yes.
Once they moved from the hotel to the ship, I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, very much a jump the shark.
Debbie Ryan was a cool addition, but she didn't make up for the other people that we lost.
Yeah. I think the relationship between the twins and Ashley Tisdale was definitely a key component. And their mom not being there didn't help either.
Yeah. But Ashley Tisdale was blowing the F up because of High School Musical.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like she didn't really have the time to be bouncing.
No. And the attempt to bring, and they did, they brought Mosby on the ship, but they didn't use Mosby as much as they did in the hotel. So it's like, why did we bother?
Yeah. It's like Mosby didn't really fit on the ship.
No.
As the hotel manager, he fit.
Yes, exactly.
It's not like he was the captain of the ship.
No.
It's exactly. Like he's there.
Yeah.
he's just there to help keep the shenanigans in check, and it's like, no,
because
that's what parents are for.
yeah, that's what the parents for, and yeah, it definitely lost a little bit of the luster. I will say Debbie Ryan was awesome on this show. She did a really good job. She did a good job on her own show. Jesse, she was great to us in person at the town center when she did that event. We got to meet her. She was sweet as peach. It just
the one thing that really stands out in mind about the ship was when they did the big crossover.
Yes.
The Wizards on Deck of Hannah Montana.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think that was probably, and there's a reason that the other two shows you mentioned are where they are, because
Still waited on those.
Well, no. I have the reason I did that is because I really think that time of Disney Channel originals was probably the apex, because you had so much good stuff going on at once.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe because they had all those going on at once is why Disney Channel now, with the absence of all of those, really feels like it's not as attention grabbing as it was in the era of those three shows.
Possibly.
So, and the fact that they saw the star power in all of those and put them all together for that crossover video and the crossover episodes of the shows, it
wasn't the first time they did that, because there was the Wish Gonna Miss.
Yes.
That was, I want to say, Corey's in the House, That's So Raven in Hannah Montana.
Yes, correct.
And then there was That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana, which was That's So Raven.
Yes.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody in Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
And then we had the Wizards on Deck one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the Wizards on Deck one was number 2 of the 3 as far as like how good they were.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the That's So Sweet Life was the better one. Wish Gonna Miss was just kind of meh to me.
That's true. I will say that That's So Raven got heavy consideration. We were going to put that on there, but
and Raven's Home, of course, would kind of be meshed with it, like we did with the Sweet Life franchise here, because she's back playing that character now, or she was.
I just think Raven's Home falls into that Girl Meets World category. It's like, was it really necessary to come back?
Maybe that's my only. But it's one of those things when somebody. I feel like it's one of those things when somebody does a show, and they feel like they get too suffocated, too big for it. They need to branch out.
Okay.
And they go do their thing, whether they're successful or they fail. They realize that thing they felt suffocated by is kind of what helped make them a name.
Okay.
So to come back to revisit that for however long, I always kind of look at those things fondly.
Okay.
Not saying she's going to do anything like this now, and especially considering what happened with the star of said franchise, but if there was a Cosby thing that she came back for, considering that's where she really made her name.
Yes, that's true.
But outside of the Cosbys, it's That's So Raven.
That's valid. That's a valid point. I can't.
That was like the next chapter in her success.
That makes sense. I can't disagree with it.
So, but yeah, Raven was definitely under consideration. Some of the other modern stuff was under consideration.
Right. So that is where we go from the Sweet Life franchise to arguably the most successful one on the list, even though it's not our number one, because Miley Cyrus, as big as she has become now, and as famous or infamous or notorious as she is now, she would not have got there without Hannah Montana. And Hannah Montana definitely brought a much needed sets of eyes to the Disney Channel.
Yes.
which was very much struggling to regain an audience that had moved away from cable at that point. And again,
it's like we talk about everything. Everything is secular.
yes,
Yes. Everything moves in a cycle. And Miley and Hannah was exactly what they needed to jumpstart the next cycle.
Yep, exactly.
Because while Raven and Corey's in the house and some of those other ones were doing okay,
yes,
they really kind of weren't doing the same that they did when Lizzie McGuire and Kim Possible were around. They kind of had petered off a little bit.
Yes.
And then with Hannah and Sweet Life and Jesse and, some of those other ones, they were able to kind of really start that upswing again.
Yep.
And Hannah is only where she is because I'm gonna be downright honest, because of a personal bias.
No, that's valid. And
you could sit here and you could argue me that she should be number 3 instead of number 4. You wouldn't win an argument about number 1 or 2 with the two of us. You're just not going to win.
Absolutely not. And
you could argue me about number 3, and if it wasn't personal bias, I would concede because Hannah was the bigger show.
Yes,
it just wasn't the house favorite in comparison.
No, and I think Hannah, especially last season, when it became Hannah Montana Forever, and it kind of went away from the core idea of the show.
That's because she was ready to move on and was like,
and she was.
If we do this, will you stick around for one more year? And they're like, okay, we'll give you one more year if you make this change.
It's very much one season 7. Very much one time season 7. It's like, is it really necessary? No. But it still worked. It still did its thing, and it resolved very nicely at the end. So I thought it was cute. And yes, Big G, to your point, as Emily Osment's now part of the Big Bang Young Sheldon family. So good on her. Jesus. Talk about getting into some money franchise. Good for Emily on that one. Holy crap.
Right.
Making that Paramount money. You mentioned the personal bias for number 3, so I will definitely let you wax proxy on this one, because I will agree. Of the two, it became the house favorite because, unlike it being focused on one person and her adventures with everybody else, number 3 was very much it focused on the group, and everybody in the group had something that we all enjoyed in the house.
Yeah, it was definitely family focused, where Hannah was singular focused.
Agreed.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yes.
And Selena Gomez, I loved her then. I love her now.
Yep.
Her character of Alex Russo is basically what she plays on Only Murders in the Building.
Yes. Yes.
It's just a grown-up version.
Yep.
She is just as snotty, just as sarcastic, just as quick-witted. And when you're playing opposite Steve Martin and Martin Short, you have to be.
Yes.
And she holds her own with those two.
She does. God bless her.
I'm being honest. When I first heard about the show, I was curious how the dynamic was going to work. Because one of these things just doesn't belong here. But holy shit, if it does work.
She does, man. She makes it work.
And like I said, if you are a fan of Wizards and you have not seen Only Murders in the Building, it is very much Alex Russo grown up.
Yeah.
And they're doing a revamp Wizards.
They are.
David Henry is back and Selena is back.
Yeah, I'm
not sure if she's back just in like guest appearance role or if she's a part of the main cast. But just the fact that I think pretty much everybody except for the little brother, Max, is coming back in some way, shape, or form, that speaks volumes.
It does. Selena was in the pilot. They shot that in February. That was the only reason I didn't jump on going to, because they're filming it out here for people that aren't aware. They're filming the new series out here. But when JD told me about it, I was like, oh, and then I saw that Selena was already her shot was already in the pilot. I'm like, it's on a Friday. Fridays are murder. It's I'll think about it. But I am glad they're bringing it back, and or they're continuing the story of.
And again, this kind of goes back to the point I was making about Raven Simone.
Yep.
Selena Gomez very much made her name on Wizards.
Yes, she did.
She's done a ton of other stuff. She's done movies. She's had successful albums.
Yes.
And she's coming back home.
Yes.
Whatever the extent of her character involvement is going to be, she is coming back home to what made her famous in the first place.
Exactly.
And when you think about it, she may have gone a little batshit crazy fucking with Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
She didn't go near as crazy as Demi and Miley did.
No, not even close. So, yes, Selena was one of the.
To her for not losing her shit completely.
Yes.
And welcome back to the Mouska Mafia family.
Yes, exactly.
I believe it will be a Disney Plus show, G. I'm not sure if it'll actually air on Disney Channel or if it'll be on Disney Plus.
It is going to premiere on both. It's going to be one of those simultaneous premieres. We'll just see. I don't know who's going to pick it up for the run. It looks like it's going to be carried on both. They'll probably do it Disney Channel for the premiere of the episode, and then go to Disney Plus the next day, like they do with Hulu and everything.
Yeah, that would make sense, and I'm cool with that.
I am cool with that too, because Disney Channel getting some more love again on its own is all right by me. Because we wouldn't be doing a show about the Disney Channel series if we didn't love the Disney Channel.
Well, I mean, we love Disney, period.
Well,
and
yes,
considering next Wednesday will be the 69th anniversary of the park that Walt built.
Nice. That was strictly for Greg Cherry and his friend. Anyway, I noticed though they're not calling it that. Have you noticed that in the press clippings? Yeah. Oh yeah, Jerry, that is a long tenured quip from that man. But if you
that is a Casa D18 original, the Mouska Mafia.
And if you know, folks. Just saying.
All I'm going to tell you is those little audio animatronics on Small World aren't as innocent as they look.
Oh, no.
Those eyes have eyes.
That's it.
See all.
That's why people get banned from the park. Stuff like that. I will say, they're not calling it the 69th anniversary. To the cast backstage, we're calling it Wednesday is officially the start of the road to the 70th.
Yeah.
They are not using that number if they can help it.
I know.
And good on the company for thinking ahead, because depraved souls like us is going to do it anyway. Now,
that's right.
Number two cannot be disputed by the audience.
No.
We are going to
and a lot of people forget.
Yes.
A lot of people forget that this was a Disney Channel original, and a lot of people forget that this had a different title than everybody knows it as. You guys at home probably know it as Saved by the Bell, the Junior High Years, but it is originally known as Good Morning Miss Bliss.
That's right,
Jack,
folks.
Screech, and Lisa. That is where they began.
And if anybody back then was more Disney than Haley and Mills, fight me on it.
Maybe Julie Andrews.
No.
Maybe Annette.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe Annette. If they had brought Annette Funicello to be Miss Bliss, that probably would have been the only thing to one-up Haley Mills.
It'd probably still be going.
No, Annette died how many years ago?
Well, Haley's still alive, so there you go. But no, yeah. Before Zach Morris became trash on Facebook, before it was picked up by...
was never trash.
I know.
I don't care what they say.
I know. Before... See, Big G members, Big G members. That a boy, Big G. You know, G. We love you for that.
Zach Morris may have been a troublemaker.
Yes.
Zach Morris may have been conniving.
Oh, yes.
Zach Morris may have even been a little bit dastardly at times.
Yes.
But haven't we all been?
Oh, yeah.
So are we trash?
No, not
Then
necessarily.
neither is he.
No, but the fact that this character and his misadventures did not start in preppy, snooty California, but in freaking Midwest Indiana instead. People forget that shit too.
Yeah. And I've always loved the irony of how Belding, Zach, Screech, and Lisa just all picked up and moved to the same city and the same school. Like, how in the flying did this become a thing? I want to see the made-for-TV movie that explains this.
Yes. Yeah, I want to see why Zach Morris left this beautiful environment he was in with the loving and caring Miss Bliss and instead moved to the same place as Belding. No.
I mean, granted, he met the love of his life, Kelly Kapowski.
Valid.
But Jessie Spano is his lifelong friend. Excuse the hell out of me. She wasn't in this series.
Nuh-uh.
Did she move also?
You were live for that.
A character we never met.
That's it.
I want explanations.
I demand the made-for-TV movie. Somebody get Tartikoff's kid on the phone. I want answers.
And if we can't get a made-for-TV movie, because obviously everyone's too old, a graphic novel, something.
I'm begging you.
I want the story.
I demand an explanation. What I love is when they did.
Just like how I've always begged when it comes to it, we always pick up with the losers and their inception, and we hear about all the stuff that happened in the past. I want to see that stuff occur.
Yes.
And we're supposedly going to be getting that in a Pennywise series.
Ooh.
I want to see the stuff that transpired here.
Yes.
You know, did Zach get kicked out of school?
Right?
Did Zach's parents get a job offer that they couldn't resist?
Same
Jay, with Lisa. Lisa's parents are doctors.
Uh-huh.
Did they figure that, maybe Indiana just wasn't where it was at for the hospital world, and so they decided to move to Cali?
Yes, exactly.
Screech, I could figure probably just moved because Zach's best friend. But I want the information here. I
got it. Think about the first episode of Good Morning, Miss Bliss. They come back from vacation, and Zach has been lying to this girl all summer about his age. Did that girl not look like Kelly Kapowski, or was that just me? I'm thinking, because that girl completely disappeared after that first episode. I'm thinking there was some sort of shenanigans involved, and the doctor's turtle had to cover up her going missing or dying, and they all had to just bail. I'm just saying. There's some serious shenanigans afoot here. But yes, we digress because we're getting way too in the freaking dark weeds on this shit. Good Morning, Miss Bliss was a Disney Channel original. People just forget because a lot
of us didn't watch it on Disney Channel, if we're being honest.
No, we saw it on NBC.
We saw it the first time on NBC with the little drop-ins from modern day Zach talking about his times in junior high, and then we'd flash back.
Yeah.
That's
so much
how most of us saw it.
Yeah. So much so that they overlaid the Saved by the Bell intro with the clips from Good Morning, Miss Bliss woven into the character intros. So go and look up the intro to Good Morning, Miss Bliss. It does exist. It's on YouTube. It's cute as hell. It's a cute little, 80s TV theme show. Show theme, excuse me. But yeah, this is where Saved by the Bell started. Without Good Morning, Miss Bliss, there is no Saved by the Bell. And yeah, you can argue me, maybe that's not the best thing because then there wouldn't be that god-awful remix. But you know what? Ignore the remix part. Ignore the new class part. Saved by the Bell, those 4 years, and I'll even give the college years, the 1 year of college years, because that shit was way underrated. Doesn't happen without Good Morning Miss Bliss.
Exactly.
Okay, let me go grab my chapstick real quick. Hang on.
All right. So
Yes.
coming in at number 1, could we, in all honesty, do a top 10 Disney Channel original shows, go through 9 other entries, and not have anything for the mouse that started it all?
Nay.
He
No.
is the leader of the club that's made for you and me, but as we said, the Mickey Mouse Club was an ABC show.
Was.
But the Mickey Mouse Club House, why it says number 7, I don't know.
That's a 1 in the Disney Channel font.
Okay, because that looks like a 7 to me, but you know,
that's a 7.
It just looks like a 7 that was turned at
I
an
know.
angle.
It's all Disney Channel's fault. Blame them. They did it to him. It's all his fault. All their fault.
But without Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, we do not get Mickey the Mouse.
No. Not
That
on,
is where we got that lingo.
No,
Thank
exactly.
you to Pete. The devious villain who's more depressing than anything in this show. He's not really villainous.
Without Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, we don't get Pete as an in-park character. Finally, after 90-something years, because Pete in the Parks is
how long ago? And we
yeah,
just
well,
got Pete in the Park.
Well, yes, but they keep Pete in Toontown with the occasional pop out of Clarabelle and Horse Collar too. And yes, we'll do the hot dog song just for you, Big G, at the end. I promise. I'll do it. I'll do it just to be that guy. Because I still know it by heart. God help me. God help me, I know it by heart. Damn kids, damn me. It's all my fault, really. But yeah, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, in addition to being the 2000s televised Mickey Mouse that our kids got, that this generation first got, because even though the original Mickey Mouse Club started on ABC, there was a reboot on Disney Channel.
Yes,
but
I
it
remember
wasn't.
watching it in the 90s.
Yes,
MMC.
MMC with such folks as Carrie. Is Carrie Wilson,
Russell,
right? Carrie Russell, thank you.
Justin
Christina
Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears.
Yeah.
I think JC was on that as well. JC Chazet.
Yep. There were a lot of people, but it wasn't a Disney Channel original. It was, for better or for worse, a retread.
Yes.
And this show, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, was not only Mickey's television presence on his own channel at first. It was educational, and as preschooly as it is, it's still fun for us to watch because we get it and we still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, honorable mention will go to the other.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Before we get to the honorable mention.
Okay.
We cannot talk about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Okay.
And not discuss some of the movies that
yes. Oh, absolutely. Okay.
You know, the Great Clubhouse Hunt.
Yes. Oh God, that song.
Mickey Adventures in Wonderland.
Yes. Mickey Saves Santa.
Yeah, Mickey Saves Santa.
Talk about being a Jeff Jam. Jesus Christ.
Just and to your point, some of the songs that if Natalie goes back and watches this, I am going to perform for you right now because I want to make sure it gets stuck in her head. Traumatized the whole tick tock, we have to fix the cuckoo clock. Tick tock, we have to fix the cuckoo clock. The pieces of the clubhouse look a lot like Mickey Mouse. Number one.
If y'all have a desire to throw yourselves into rubber room inducing trauma, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse TV movies are your shit.
And I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
But you know that the people that wrote some of the dialogue on those
Oh yeah.
worded things specifically just to make the adults go, "Excuse me?" Every episode. Hey, everybody, it's me, Mickey Mouse. Hey, would you like to come inside my clubhouse? What did you say, Mickey?
The hell you say, Mr. Mouse? We have a problem here, Mr. Mouse. Yeah, Michigan man.
But yes, to your point,
Yes.
the honorable mention.
Yeah. Considering, I was going to expunge on your point a little bit. Considering I've met a good chunk of the people behind Clubhouse and some of the voices on Clubhouse now, you're absolutely right. Bunch of depraved people. They're all evil and crazy. So yeah, I totally.
Especially Bill. I've met him more than once.
Dude, Bill is low key hidden in the weeds, man. He is a sinister individual, but I love him to pieces. I do love Bill. I do. Bill Farmer. He's one of those R-Truth Danhausen. He should be protected at all costs. He's a global treasure. I love Bill Farmer. Honorable mention.
That's a hell of a tag team.
Right?
R-Truth and Danhausen?
Dude, talk about some prohibitive portal shit. The comedy section of the show will now be provided by Danhausen and R-Truth. Because both of them see things that aren't there. That's not PG. Honorable mention to the Mickey Mouse animated shorts that came out beginning in 2013, I believe. All the same voices from Clubhouse except for Mickey himself.
Yes.
I can't pronounce Chris's last name. It's far too Greek for me. Maybe I can have Mikey tag me in later. But going back to that more Walt Disney voice style on Mickey and the ridiculous hijinks and shenanigans that Mickey would get into in his 1920s and 30s appearances. Such a great contrast to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, the Mickey Mouse Roadhouse, all the preschool driven stuff. It was a great, and at first I was like, it's freaking Ren and Stimpy on Disney Channel. Like, what the hell are we doing? But it was a great balance to the other franchise. So that's why it gets honorable mention. And plus it's the boss. So I got a little bit more. And it's that version of Mickey and the animated shorts that got Mickey and Minnie their first actual in-park ride attraction, which is bonkers to me after 69 years. That was the first attraction, was based on that version of Mickey, and it took 67, 68 years to get there.
Yeah.
But we got it. Mickey
you would think that Mickey and Minnie would have been one of the first entities to get a ride.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've had their houses since the early 90s.
Sure.
But that's not the same.
No, it's not. It's not. And kudos to the parks for not having the Meet Mickey queue be in the exit of that ride like I was sure was going to happen. They still keep the contrast. You've got the family, the old school Meet Mickey in his house dynamic, and then you go over to the railway and it's just batshit crazy and it's fun. And you just, it's nuts. The whole ride's cuckoo. So great. I really feel, there you go. Again, that ride on both coasts is just next level batshit. So it's fun though. It's fun. But I really feel like that show was the reason that Mickey was able to retain his "it's still my party" status. Like, there have been so many characters in the 101 years now of company history that it almost felt like he was just kind of there for a while in the late 90s. And Clubhouse really reminded people that Mickey is still a viable television property. He's still the corporate mascot. He's still, all these things, but he's still a viable television property, which, at his core, Mickey's a movie and TV star. So that being reestablished definitely helped sustain the character to the point where when the company fought the copyright thing at the end of last year, it was essential that they had other versions of Mickey to make sure that they could hang on to. And it was it could have been ugly had they not had a television and movie presence. So
Yeah.
was what it was, and I'm not getting into that because it ain't my place. But yeah, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is our number one. And yes, that may seem like, butt smooching, but at the end of the day, it is Mickey Mouse. It is the Walt Disney Company. They are one and the same for a good majority of the world. So,
and it's the one thing that we looked forward to watching every day.
Yeah, it really is.
It didn't matter how many times we saw the episode.
Nope.
Very rarely were we ever this one again.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Nope. And
same with the DVDs.
No, exactly.
Because we had a ton of them.
Oh yeah. It was the one thing we could count on to make sure Dylan didn't get pissed off about not watching Peter Pan. Was Clubhouse. So kudos to the boss for getting us off Peter Pan at least for 5 minutes. Right. Goddamn, we had to.
All right, let's get through the shills and get out of here. So
I agree. Got our shit in an hour. I'm here for it. So yesterday, a comment was brought up on me wearing my Guns N' Roses "Sweet Child of Mine" shirt, and I loaded the graphic in to yesterday's stream, and I had to bail out. So my apologies for doing that again, by the way. But next weekend, the 20th, while we are on covering Slammiversary, if you're in the area out at Beaver Dam, Rock the Dam 7 will be live with Tesla headlining, Winger, Firehouse, and our friends Paradise Kitty all on the bill. So go check them out. You can get your tickets there at the box office and at beaverdamamp.com and all the things contained there. So go support our friends Paradise Kitty. They are still the reason I got introduced to live Guns N' Roses music. So I will never say not to go see the girls because they're a fun show. And I'm telling you, when they're back in California, brother, we got to get you out there because you're going to have the time of your life. I guarantee it.
I know. You know me. It's all about transportation and finance.
Yep, that's it. Never hard to book it. It's hard to finance anything, be it wrestling or traveling to shows for us. Also, yesterday, I threw into our Open Mic Night intro the trailer that was premiered Friday for our friends over at Bat Productions, The Last Nightmare Part 1. That'll be premiering this October. Be sure to look out for that. We'll run the trailer tomorrow during Meet with Musings and for the next few weeks in Open Mic Night in our intro, just so we can get a little love out there for Braden and the gang, because I've been able to see some of the dailies. If you're a Halloween fan, and especially if you're an H2O fan, this series of movies, these fan films, are just must see. Without a doubt.
Yeah. The last one he did was Haddonfield Nightmare, right?
Yes, he did Haddonfield Nightmare. That was a direct pickup 22 years after the events of H2O. Right. So good.
If you guys want an idea of what we're dealing with, go back to the archives of Renegade's reviews.
Yes.
I did review it.
Yes. And then,
so you can kind of hear my thoughts on it. You can find out how to watch it.
Yep.
And then you can be ready for this one when it drops.
Yeah, it's still there in its entirety on the YouTube page. It's if you didn't get the chance to get a hard copy like I did or some of the folks in my circle did, it is worth the watch, man. It's a great.
And I'm pretty sure I linked to the URL for it on my thing. That's why I'm telling people to go and watch my review.
No, definitely watch the review. But it is worth it. H2O was the gateway for me to Halloween. And that's totally thanks to Dylan's mom. I'll give her that credit. It's very rare I credit her, but I watched H2O with her first.
One of the few things we'll
exactly. But if you're a fan of H2O and what could have been, not Resurrection, these series movies is for you. As far as our own stuff,
what's better or worse, Mark Briscoe's redneck kung fu or Busta Rhymes' kung fu, and what would win in a battle?
What's worse is Busta Rhymes, but what would win is probably Busta Rhymes too, because he's got that ghetto crazy versus Mark Briscoe. So just saying. Mark Briscoe's in the morning. Busta Rhymes just fucking crazy. He was trying to kill Michael Myers. He crazy from jump. So there is that.
All right.
As far as our stuff, if you missed our coverage of Prestige Wrestling's Combat Clash, geez, easy for me to say, PDX, which was on Friday, please go check that out in our archives across the multiverse. Fun watch, great little round robin commentary until Walter's Wi-Fi pooped out on him, poor Walter. But fun, great 3 hours of wrestling. Not even that, not even 3. Just a fun night of independent pro wrestling that they showed for free. We just got to be along for the ride, which was great. Yeah. So check out our coverage of that, but make sure you sync up the video that they put on there with our commentary. That way you can get the full experience. And the link for their show is also on our archives. So check it out on there. Monday, I'll be back at Meech's Musings. I am definitely, without question, 100% going to talk about what happened in Pennsylvania yesterday. There is no doubt about it. I'm going to get into it. And probably going to lose myself a few subscribers. I'm going to be honest. But that's what it is. Tuesday, however, we'll be back doing okay things because we'll be doing a live watch along again. Second week in a row, this time across the entire multiverse, as Noah and Walter provide that commentary. Or is it going to be you and Noah this time?
No, it's going to be Walter because we're doing it during the live hours.
Okay, cool. So Noah and Walter will be on commentary for NXT, and we'll be on the air beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. That's on Tuesday night. Of course, next Tuesday, the 23rd, we will see the return, in theory, of Stat Boy Sports Bar. So be looking out for that at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on July 23rd.
Believe Wednesday. It when we see it.
Believe it. That's it. Wednesday, I'll be live at Downtown Disney. Okay, guess we're going to.
I just wanted to throw that up there because I saw a question come in that wasn't super chatted, so I want to make sure to remind people that if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, then super chat. It's really as simple as that.
Easy. So, as of now, I'll be downtown. I'm still hoping to get inside the park. We shall see. But either way, I will be at the Downtown Disney District here locally in Anaheim, celebrating the anniversary of Disneyland, and I'll be on the air at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, whereas Greg Cherry will be live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, and then our Dynamite tag team will be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, with our coverage of AEW Dynamite 250. We've got a champion versus champion match with Okada and Swerve booked, Will Ospreay versus MJF. Mercedes Monet's Open Challenge is answered by Nyla Rose. And TV time with the Learning Tree is scheduled with Chris Jericho and company. So that we know for sure is happening on Wednesday, but you know they're going to overbook the fuck out of that before Wednesday. So be looking out for those graphics over at AEW's Twix and eventually on our own pages. Thursday, our shenanigans will start exclusively on the Greg Cherry brand at 7 p.m. Eastern with Luck of the Draw. Greg's quarterly game show of cards and messy things, just 7 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will be live across the multiverse of media with our watch-along coverage of the go-home show for Slammiversary. Yes, it is TNA Impact. And if you're like us and you can't find that damn channel it's on, listen to our coverage because we'll have the complete access to all things TNA, including Simply Predicting Slammiversary at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, in which Noah and the team will be providing coverage, preview and predictions for Slammiversary, which we will be watching along with Saturday night, July 20th, beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, across the multiverse of media. And then we'll be right back here a week from yesterday with another round of Open Mic Night. And all super chats for any of those shows will go to the fund to let our viewers read the comments as they're posted and read the notifications as they're posted by one of the hosts, because somebody's not getting it. If you are unable to read this, please feel free to have your friends and family super chat so you can read it. We want our viewers and our listeners to be literate and coherent. And by God, that is my life's mission, to promote literacy and coherency in all humans that claim to support me and the multiverse of me. Thank you.
Yep.
So I thought that's such a popular show because it taught education, it taught reading and problem solving. By God.
Yep.
If I can't do that, all is lost.
So
Hey.
that being said, if there are no other questions that are being super chatted, then we will go ahead and sign off here for the evening.
Yes.
Make
And
sure
just-
again that you tune in for any of our number of broadcasts throughout the week, because we are not slowing down.
Oh no.
Even though we said a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that we were going to cut back on the live streams, we've kicked this into overdrive. So
Yes.
make sure that you join us for any of the stuff coming up across the multiverse.
There are a lot of things happening.
Until then, for the West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.